Hello, everyone. This is your host, Anita from Happiness Factors, where we discuss everything happiness, joy, and of course, with Brian about your posture. Because if you are in pain, you can't be happy, right? So, today I'm excited to welcome the one and only Brian Bradley, the posture RX superstar, the sock superstar, and someone who can be the superstar of your life by getting rid of all your pain naturally without side effects. So, without further ado, I would like Brian to introduce himself. Welcome, Brian.
Anita, thank you so much. It was great getting to hang out with you over the last couple of weeks too, to find out more about you. You're killing it. I love it. Hey,
Thank
yeah, exactly like she said. I wouldn't say that Brian's the superstar, Brian's this, Brian's that. I get that. You got to introduce people like that.
you.
But in my line of work, it's all about you guys listening and watching. And I wore this sweatshirt for a reason because there's no other choice.
Nice.
You win, period.
Awesome.
That's it.
Yes.
That's the idea of going into anything that you're going to do, whether you're coding, whether you're playing football, whether you're playing soccer, whether you're going on a bike ride, golfing. I don't care what it was. Sitting at a computer, win. It's that simple. And so that's the mindset that I, try to instill in all my clients who come in when they feel like, even two of them today, they felt like their life was no longer about winning. Winning wasn't even on the docket because they're in so much chronic symptom, migraine headaches, TMJ symptoms, lower back, shoulder, digestion, knees, ankles, feet, you name it. Really, all those are little signals to tell you something's off. So over my left shoulder, for those of you watching,
Yeah.
you can see this is what we call the functional design posture. I'm not here to tell you to stand up straight. I'm here to tell you to invest a couple of minutes a day into a couple of moves per day that will have an absolute massive payoff for you.
I can
So you and I
totally.
were
Yeah.
you and I were talking about the sweatshirt or the hat, and underneath here it says blessed. You know, it's really these little incantations that change your mindset that, maybe my pain is trying to tell me something or my limitations trying to tell me something. We're already into the month of April, May coming up. People are 4 or 5 months going, I started working out January 1st. Gee, I'm kind of frustrated. I'm not really gaining anything. I'm not getting any results. Well, I'll let Anita tell you what the definition of insanity is. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Why not change the road you're going down? That's the key here. We want to change the road that you're on from a fitness, wellness, functional movement standpoint so that you can have the chance to live pain free by taking a different body into whatever workout you're doing.
That's totally true because of few days ago I was speaking to Brian because I was having lots of ankle pain, and even though when I go to a doctor they try to put me on painkillers, or if I when I ask I get physical therapy, but they only focus on the area like the ankle, whereas Brian told me it's all because of my posture, because my left hip and the right hip aren't aligned properly. So I've started doing the Brian's workouts, and even though they appear very simple, but they are not that simple. When you do it, then you feel it. So totally, I'm looking forward to again. Brian has promised me the impossible, that I can wear heels again. So I'm looking forward to that. And also another good thing about the approach Brian takes is it's very minute movements, which if you just watch it, it might appear too simple. But when you do it, it's not that simple, and it really works. Because if it works for Tony Robbins, it works for everyone else, right, Brian?
Yeah, that's true. And remember this, not just are we going to sit here and talk about it, how cool these exercises are, or how cool your results are, because I'm glad first of all, you need to be congratulated for, shifting your mindset, shifting your daily schedule to say, it's time for me to invest in myself and do, I don't care if it's 3 minutes or 30 minutes a day. It's
Yeah.
going to have a long time payoff. So it's like brushing your teeth every day. There's a payoff down the road. So,
Totally. Like
yeah,
Atomic Habits, that guy talks about that. That even if you spend like 1 minute a day, in a year you have spent so many minutes that it will make a major difference in your whole lifestyle, in your whole how you view life, how you process life, and how whether you achieve it or not achieve it. Right. So,
well,
Brett,
your
tell
instincts will tell you. Your
me.
instincts will say, give me more. When you do 1 minute, you'll start craving more.
Totally, I agree with you because before I wasn't doing the weights in the morning because I only used to do yoga or maybe sometimes not do anything. And then once my doctor scared me enough that I might get osteoporosis and other stuff, I do weights every morning. And when I don't do it, I feel I'm missing out on something. So I included your workout before the weights so that when I'm doing the weights, I'm in the right posture. Also,
Because for those of you listening, we've all heard that, well, go to CrossFit. It's the best thing that's out there.
yes,
But if I said how many people have been hurt by CrossFit, there's a lot of people putting their arms up. Now I'm
totally.
going to come to the defense of CrossFit. I don't think CrossFit's hurt anybody.
Yeah,
I think the wrong body alignment taken to CrossFit allowed CrossFit to be the catalyst to push you over the edge. So don't blame CrossFit. Let's change the body you take to it. And then we can substitute. CrossFit could be I got hurt playing a video game on my phone because it hurts my neck. I got hurt swinging a golf club. I got hurt doing a boxing class.
yeah.
I got hurt taking my dog for a walk because it pulled the wrong direction. This is real life stuff that people talk about.
Totally. I agree with you. But it's because they don't realize that it's the posture because unless someone tells them, they only believe, oh, there is a pain, I have to pop in a painkiller. But that's a symptom relief. It doesn't care of the issue.
Yeah,
But
that's why, when I was thinking about this, I have clinics all over the country, and we have two that were in Mexico, two in Japan, these different things. But let's just say you're in NorCal, or let's say you're in Denver, or you're in New York. I have clinics in those areas where I'll make sure you guys have information down the road where if you just said, okay, but what's wrong with my posture? Is there anything wrong? Well, let us take a look. All it cost you was your time, whether we do it on Zoom or whether we do it in person, because that's what it took with a group of people, including yourself, to go, this makes total sense. And maybe Brian's going to get me back into high heels.
totally.
We're going to celebrate when you get back into high heels. And it's going to
Totally.
happen pretty soon
Yeah,
because it's not the high heels. It's the inability to wear the high heels. It's
totally.
the ability to get your back in the right place so that the osteopenia, osteoporosis is coming. We got to change the angle of your spine so that the axial load of walking, excuse me, gravity, walking, standing, sitting, the compression helps you and serves you versus degrades you.
Totally, I agree with you. And also, see, you are the first person who told me, oh, you can go back to wearing high heels. Every place else I have gone for my pain, they always say, okay, do this exercise or take this painkiller or wear this brace, but never wear high heels again. You won't be able to because your body can't take it. But so I'm so happy that you gave me the hope. And that's where the mindset comes in, right? The win mindset you have in your hoodie, or the blessed mindset you have in your cap. So when we feel blessed, then we feel we can win. And so I feel I can win and wear my heels again. I haven't thrown them away. Still,
There's a reason why you didn't throw them away too,
yes,
because instinctively it did not make sense to you. I'll never be able to wear high heels again. Think about this. How many friends do you know that are severely overweight? And I'm not judging this, but let's think about it. If you're 200 to 300 pounds and you're wearing high heels, you're a house on stilts.
totally.
But how come it doesn't hurt them?
Yes,
And somebody's going to tell them, you better lose weight or blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that being overweight is healthy, but I'm not telling you it's unhealthy either,
yeah,
because a lot of the genetics that are coming into people's lives take over. I get that. A lot of it, as you and I talked about, is the food we eat, like the choices that we make,
totally.
how much food we get when we sit down. Look, I'm half Italian. You know what it's like to be an Italian at a dinner? If you don't eat all the food in front of you, your grandmother's very upset. She takes it personally.
Yeah,
So you take
like
that
any,
into later life.
yeah,
I imagine it's the same from where you're from. You think about that same thing. Mama made food. We better eat. And then, oh, by the way, this was lunch at 12 o'clock.
yeah,
3 hours later is dinner. Oh my gosh, I'm just done digesting breakfast or, lunch or something. So we all make these different things that we think about. So those of you that are listening, I know we're a couple minutes into this. By the time we're done with this, we're going to have you guys get up and experience what Anita experienced. And then I'll have a link in there for you to at least go, look, I'm not going to go see Brian. I don't really care about my posture, but I'm going to do these exercises. We'll have a couple things for you
oh
because
yeah,
I need
yeah.
you to experience and feel it.
Yes. And also, that day when I was walking, so I told about our conversation to my neighbor, and I'm pretty good friends with most of my neighbors, and she always has knee issue and thigh issue. And then she asked me if there is a center locally, so I gave her the San Francisco address. So she's going to go there. So
Well,
that
and that's great because you're listen, and I'm telling you, that's how this entire business has been built because it's all been word of mouth. Somebody says to me, "Hey, is it covered by insurance?" Am I literally the fastest answer I can give is this: Nope. That's why it works. Because when you pay attention. When
tot-
you if somebody gives you something for free, you value it in the moment, but you don't value it long term. When you work for something and you're going, you know what, this is a commitment. This is something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. There's a
yes,
massive payoff.
totally. And also, insurance doesn't cover many of the things. Like even when they were talking about osteoporosis, I asked them if they have that machine, OsteoStrong, which
Yep.
is supposed to cure, but they don't have that machine at all in the whole.
No, and listen, they have multiple studies, as we have studies, to show that where the efficacy of this is, I mean, huge percentages more effective. But remember, we're in the midst of a complete rebirth somewhere here in the country doing something as it relates to healthcare and food. We won't get into that, but we're in the midst of a rebirth of something. Let's hope it's going down the road of trust your instincts, don't blame the surgeons.
Yeah.
They're just answering the questions that you're giving them. So I was on Instagram the other day answering a DM because I answer all my own DMs. And somebody said, surgeon this, surgeon that. And I'm like, I choose to believe that the surgeon did not go to medical school to make mistakes. They went in there because they're a healer. They
Yes.
got caught up in a system that has now really cornered them and stymied them from being curious, trusting their instincts and growth, which you and I don't live in a non growth environment. We live in a growth rich environment, mentally, emotionally, and physically, which I'm sure many of your listeners do. I encourage all of you, and this is the one thing we were talking about the other day. Um, if you look at this picture right here, this is that muscle right there. That's the long red psoas muscle. And
Yeah.
those are the different chakras on the body and the different systems.
Yeah. What's the name of the book? Looks very interesting.
The
The
vital psoas muscle. So it's a book discussing how this muscle right here
Mhm.
is so critical to the human body. I'm not saying that one's more important than the other,
Yeah.
but if you gave me one choice, what do you want to do? Do you want to train your bicep, your traps, your quads? I'd say let's start with the circuit breaker. Let's
Yes.
turn the power on and then work out from there. And that's what this entire method is about. We're in the midst of a rebrand to go to Posture RX
Yes.
from Egoscue. And the idea is that our whole thing is based on changing someone's belief system from I'm broken to I'm slightly bent. Maybe there's a way for me to get out of this.
Yes.
And once that, think about you. How did it feel when I said osteopenia, osteoporosis, no biggie. You'll be able to wear high heels. We're just going to change the body you take to it. What did that feel like?
It felt like I can win. It gave me anticipation and hope. And also it gave me new horizon because before no one ever told me that I can wear heels again.
Listen, can you guys imagine the house party she's going to have when she can wear high heels? Like this is going to be amazing. We all better get an invite.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and because I live in the Bay Area, and most of the people who listen to my podcast are mostly engineers working in the tech industry. Most of them suffer from back problems and other pains because of sitting too much in front of the computer and working. Even though they have the ergonomics, sometimes they are not in the right posture, and that's what gives them frozen shoulder or even the ankle issues and others. So, what advice would you give to them?
All right, you said most of your listeners are Indians in the tech industry.
Not Indians, just in the tech industry.
Oh, and okay, so I'm saying this because I have a huge following in India
Nice.
that they keep DMing me about a height change. And I tell them, they're like, can this make me taller? You know what my answer is?
What is your answer?
Absolutely.
Oh, really? I didn't even know. I
Well,
was.
think about it.
Oh, when you're straighter, yeah.
If
Mhm.
look at what's above me, but if I allow my body to collapse, I've dropped an inch.
Yes.
But
Totally.
if you can get your body back,
Hmm.
then you're going to gain that inch back. So when somebody says to me, I ask them, how tall are you? They're like 5'4". I go, okay, 5'5". They're like, no, 4. And I said, not for long.
Awesome. I love it.
So it's like a natural high heel. I'm not going to say if you're 5'5", you're going to be 6 feet tall. But you have to remember, in the tech industry, the geniuses that they are working in there, coding, writing, this, blah, blah, blah. I get it all.
Yeah.
Let's take a different body to the chair. Let's train for the sport of working in the tech industry.
Oh, that will be amazing. Yeah. That's a
Instead of saying the tech industry hurt me, oh, ergonomics, I need a $3,000 chair. Why would you put a $2 butt in a $3,000 chair? Let's give you the $3,000 butt and sit in any chair you want.
that's true. And also do whatever you want because your body won't be in pain anymore because of the right posture.
That's correct. And remember, this is what I just wrote on my Instagram the other day. I just did this little rant where I was talking. And I said, don't kid yourself. You'll get hurt just living life. Back pain, plantar fasciitis. Like I played so much pickleball last night and earlier and all that stuff, and I'm going, man, my back needs a break
Yeah.
before I go to the gym tomorrow to do something. Okay, great. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that I do a reset tonight to serve me for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
So somebody says, how often should I do the exercises? Only on the days you brush your teeth.
Nice. And only once a day, right? Or twice a day?
Oh, listen, if you have time for twice a day, we'll keep it short and sweet. So how long does it take to get through the menus? My stuff tonight will take me 20 minutes of active stuff and about an hour and a half of very passive stuff, just laying on the floor, listening or watching the TV. Why would I sit all day at work, then sit on the couch and watch TV when I can sit all day at work
Yeah,
and then lay down on my back and allow my body to open up?
that's true.
Like I'll show you a picture. I think I showed you this before of, oh, this is a good one too. This is such a good picture. I had this pulled up on my phone just for this. Here's two different people. I'll be the one with the pickleball paddles in my hand,
Hmm.
but I'm carrying a backpack compared to somebody else. So think about all these people that work in the tech industry. They carry these backpacks
Yeah.
and they wear them. We should rename them. They should be called butt packs because
Yeah.
they wear them so low. So
Yeah.
check out that picture
Uh-huh.
of where the guy in red is carrying his bag so low. I carry mine up higher,
Yeah.
and mine feels so much lighter because my spine is able to load vertically, whereas he's bailed forward like this. So here's an exaggerated picture of what he looks like. This is a guy that I saw on the phone. This is a guy, that's an exaggerated picture of the guy on the phone. But even you guys in the tech industry would go, that looks like it hurts.
Yes. And also, like most people stand like that. Like when you
That's
show me a
correct.
picture, it can be any of the people I know, pretty much.
Oh yeah. And I'm telling you, the way out of this is something so simple that when you decide to apply the stimulus on a daily basis, this is the type of result you can look at. Imagine this. Imagine if this was your father.
Yeah. Wow. This is,
Look at that upper back.
yeah, it's totally hunched.
And it looks like he's overdosed on a drug called no acetol because he has no ass at all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little humor. It's okay to laugh. But here he is 8 visits later.
Wow.
And he's taller. Look at the collapse of his chest and stomach muscles versus where he is in the second one. So it's not about just standing up, it's about getting your pelvis back underneath you, which is why when I give you the exercises here in a little bit, I'm going to require you to get your feet from here to fist width apart and about 5 degrees turned in. It's going to be a massive game changer.
Totally.
Remember, it's about the win, period.
Winning from the pain, winning in the posture, and
Yes,
winning in the height, right?
that's exactly right. Look, if you could give somebody an inch taller, and remember I said this because of, your heritage and stuff like that. I get so many requests from that for some reason. And I don't really get a lot of other countries asking. I guess in my Japanese clinic I got those questions over in Tokyo too. But it's, maybe the US just doesn't care. It's not that big of a deal. But
Yeah.
I take it very seriously. If that's the culture and that's the worry, I have the answer.
Yeah, awesome. And I think we also like, why did you decide to rebrand as Posture RX? Because actually it appeals more to me because I understand it right from the name itself.
Well, that's the number one reason. Like I used to have to answer like 6 questions before somebody would say, "Hey, my feet hurt."
Yeah.
Now they walk up to me and go, "Posture RX stands for prescription." So posture. Hey, do you guys help foot pain? That's the first question. So from a business perspective, it was massive.
Yes.
When we were under our original brand, it was, how do you say it? How do you spell it? Where'd the name come from? Wait, where's that? Who's that? How? Wait, what? And then I'm like, oh my God, can you just get to the reason why? And now they're asking that question.
That's amazing. And also, I think, especially people in the tech and other industries, as soon as they are all worried about their posture because that's giving them lots of issues. So, as soon as they see it, they'll know, okay, this is where I need to go. So,
I'm
that's,
sitting in a I'm sitting in a $150 gaming chair.
Mhm.
You know why I bought this chair?
No, please share the story.
Because it does this. You ready?
Mhm. Oh, wow. It's like my massage chair.
That's why I did it. Now watch, I'll bring it back up.
Mhm.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
I bought it because I can take a little nap in the afternoon because it has a leg rest out there too. It's comfortable.
Oh, nice. And
But
only
that
for $150? That's really a great deal.
Amazon, $150. You guys can ask me what it is. I'll try to find you the link. But here's what I want to tell you. That's because I take a $5,000 butt into this chair,
Yeah.
right? So it's get the circuit breaker turned on, that hip flexor, the rest of your body starts to blossom. So listen, I'll be 60 in a year.
Wow.
I'm telling you the physical payback that my body has made is massive. I'm now seeing 35 years of cumulative effect. I can't wait for the next 15. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Amazing. Nice. And I think with your posture and everything, no one would even guess that you are going to be 60.
Well, that's why you and I like each other because you lie to me and tell me things like that.
That's amazing. Love it. So what's that behind you? I see that some CDs. Yeah.
Okay, so those are all my books and stuff like that. But this is the biocharger.
Oh, this is the biocharger. Okay.
Yes, and guys, biocharger. I'm good friends with all those guys that came up with this. It's a game changer. It's every form of natural light that your body can absorb. I've had people sit in front of this with eye problems and come out with no eye problems. And I don't mean like I'm blind and I can see. I'm saying they have like phone eyes, like tech eyes, like, oh man, my eyes are blurry and my eyes are tired. They're this. You put them in front of this, 2 recipes take like 24 minutes, and it's about rejuvenating the mitochondria and exciting the mitochondria in your system. Don't I know just enough to be dangerous,
Oh, nice. I didn't even
right?
know there was something for the mitochondria.
Oh yeah, so this is in the biohacking world, but that's why like even on what did I do? Let me get out of this. On my Instagram the other day, I did this. Let's see here. Okay, and anybody watching, I'm going to have my Instagram up on the screen, but this is me talking about the mental shift of my ice plunge in the morning. So it makes its own ice, it ozones the water. I take a hammer and I break the ice.
Wow.
There's something very cathartic about breaking the ice.
How does that make you feel?
That's a great question because how does the breaking of the ice make me feel is a different story than getting in the water.
Yeah, totally. Will.
Well, that's a biohacking uh, piece of equipment that I support because of what it does for men and women, and
Mhm.
they do react differently. But for men, when your testosterone level is, you don't know why, you're like, I'm going to start taking TRT and all this artificial stuff. Get in the cold water
And
and
that
let the cumulative effect in. It doesn't have to be 34 degrees. It can be 52 degrees. It can be 48 degrees. Stay in longer. But I'm so acclimated to this that the cold, that when I look at that ice, I'm looking at it going, I'm not, I'm mad at you right now. Like, I do not want to get in. I don't want to get in. And then I reach a point where I say, we're done negotiating. I got that from Tony.
yeah,
We're
amazing.
done negotiating. set the timer for 3 minutes, 30 seconds. And as soon as it hits 3:05, I'm in the water. When it's at 2:59, I'm under the water. And then I come back up and I soak the water from here for the next 3 minutes. Don't kid yourself, it's cold.
Yeah.
But I say to myself, God, this is so good for me. I'm winning against the
Totally.
hate of the cold.
Yeah.
You're going into a sympathetic nervous system. This kind of stuff is in the biohacking world, which helps you overcome that cortisol release. You're releasing serotonin in your system, and your body is now going, I'm sharper. I can see better. I can walk better. I can move better. Less inflammatory stuff. But here's where the difference is. I'm going into the water looking like this.
Yeah.
Some people go in the water looking like this, and their heads over here like that. So they're not getting the return on their investment the way they would like to. And if I'm going to go into the cold water, I want 110%. I
That's
don't want a 20% payback.
yeah.
Just like when I go to the gym, if I'm going to do the work, I want something out of it. So I have these trainers at Equinox coming up to me going, dude, what are you training for? You're crazy. And I'm like, I play pickleball. I play table tennis. You know what I mean? Like I joke with them because I train like, okay, I almost said I train like a Navy SEAL, but that's an insult to Navy SEALs. I train like I pretend like I'm a Navy SEAL, but I'm telling you, it serves me to train that way because now my mind and my body and my emotions are all linked together to form that mental, emotional, and physical triangle. And the support foundation is the physical. That's where this comes into play, which is why here in a minute, I'll get you guys up to try something so that you can actually say, okay, Brian, enough talking. What are we going to do? And I
Totally.
want you to feel it.
I totally like the mindset you go in with, because I think mindset is the most important thing, which either people do it or they just run away from it, that, oh, I can't do it, right?
That's 100%
That
right.
is the most important thing. And also, like you said, like you don't want 20% return on anything, including like if someone was investing, they don't want 20% return. They want as much return as they can get, right? They want
Yeah,
it
if
to
somebody said, here's a 1% return or here's a 12% return, they're going to go with the 12.
That's totally true. So why not do it for the body? And that's what I tell people. Like this is the same body you are going to live with for the rest of your life. So why not take care of it? And most people don't understand that. I think they misuse the body like anything, with bad food, bad stuff, and bad habits, and then
Um,
all the
we
issues.
shovel food into our mouth.
Yes,
Think about your upbringing. Think about my upbringing.
yes.
Pasta and bread were all over my upbringing.
Mhm.
The US version of pasta and bread is why we're the most obese country in the world. Not the red meat, not the chicken, not the fish, not the butter. There's all quality versions of that. I would only buy like grass fed, grass
Yeah,
finished, pastured eggs, all that stuff. But if you had to give up a couple things just to be healthy, just give up everything white in your diet and sodas. If you
totally.
gave up, if you gave up, you're going to kill me for this one, but if you gave up rice,
Yeah,
you're giving up something that your body knows is a filler food. If you could have more veggies, chicken, veggies, fish, veggies, beef, veggies, tofu,
yeah.
you're filling your body with a much better quality than just going, I just want to eat so I feel full.
No, I totally agree with you. Actually, I eat a very healthy Ayurvedic diet. So even if I eat rice, it will be like less than one fifth of my plate.
Yeah, like I'm not saying give it all up. Listen, we went to a Chinese restaurant the other day. That's a big chain in the U.S. and they have a really good cheesecake. And I said, let's get the cheesecake. They're like, what? You're going to eat cheesecake? I said, I'm on vacation for the next 30 minutes.
Awesome.
And it's all in how you look at it. This pizza is bad for me. It's going to make me fat. Guess what's going to happen? Or this piece of pizza is going to serve me.
Yeah, totally.
So
The
mindset, clean it up a little bit.
yeah,
I really think that's going to be, like you have a couple ideas here. I'm just going to hold these up for a second. You have a book called The Four Agreements.
yes.
If you haven't read this book, it's worth the read. I think a better book
Hmm.
is Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. Both of these are about mindset change,
Yes.
about if you just were impeccable with your word. Or, hey, when I was in Auschwitz, I had a couple choices. I could give up on life, and that was it.
Yeah.
One of his sayings was, when you saw the prisoners smoking their cigarettes, they reached a point because they were no longer going to trade those cigarettes in for bowls of food. They
Yeah.
had given up on their life. Soon they'd be dead. They
Totally.
knew it. They could see it happening.
Hmm.
He made a choice.
Yeah.
My goal is to see my family again. I'm going to stay alive at 60 pounds.
Yeah.
So those are the worst case scenarios. But if we say the analogy is, hey, my kid was very mean to me today, don't take it personally.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, and also people behave differently depending on what mind state they are in. They might be a good person, but that day they might be having a bad day, for all you know, right?
Yeah, I can guarantee you that when my mother passed away, I was probably not real nice the next day if you asked me stupid questions. Now, there's no such thing as a stupid question, but people are in a mood, then it becomes a stupid question.
Totally. I totally agree. Like,
So
we
you
all have,
remember the,
oh.
go ahead.
And also, so that's, so one of the main things also is not to take things personally. And that's a very, very wise words, as well as the mindset to do whatever will work for us long term, whether it's for posture, whether it's for food, whether it's for habits. And I even in India, people eat a lot of sweets and a lot of carbs. I mean, carbs, not all carbs are bad, but especially if it's homemade, it's much better than the processed ones because it's fresh and just made and in the right amount of oil and right everything. But still, my mom used to be a very, I mean, she used to know Ayurveda. So we never got sick growing up, not even a headache, not even a tummy ache. So growing up on that, and so I think I continued the habits later, even after coming here, and that's worked wonders for me long term.
Yeah, listen, and there's people out there who go, okay, yeah, but that's so much work.
I know that's what people tell me,
I
that you
know, but if you could just change your mindset and say, I'm doing all of this.
Mhm.
What if you were to do 10% of it?
Yes,
You're already 10% better.
that's so true.
And then the next year, I'm going to do another 10%.
Yeah.
And that's why things like this are in my house, the cold plunge, the infrared, this, different, supplements and stuff that I take because I'm investing in my future self.
Yes.
And my future self says thank you daily.
Well, that's amazing.
It's just a mindset.
Yeah.
It's just a shift. You're not broken. And that's 50% of my work is changing the mindset. The other 50 is you got to do something. So do you want to get up and try some of the exercises?
Sure.
Okay. Well,
Asking me? Oh, okay, I thought you were asking the audience.
I'm asking the audience, but yeah, it's asking you too.
Okay.
Okay. And you don't have to. I can do it. It's not a big deal. So here's what we're going to do. Let me put the microphone over here. Okay. I'm going to have you just stand there and just shake it out a little bit
Okay.
and close your eyes. With your eyes closed, where's your body weight from left to right? So with my eyes closed, I'm a little heavier on the ball of my left foot, but I think I'm carrying a little bit more weight grounded on my right foot, probably because I'm playing a one-sided sport. So where's your weight left to right and front to back? And it should be even left to right, front to back, but where is it? It may not be.
Yeah. No, for me,
Okay.
I would say it's more on the heels of my left foot and balls of my right foot.
Okay, great. So heel of the left foot, ball of the right foot. Which foot is carrying more weight?
I would say right now, left foot.
Okay, so left foot, and then we have heel and ball. Okay, so open up your eyes, guys. Here's what we're going to do now. I want you to kind of slowly, you don't have to get to the ground, but a lot of you will reach like this. Don't reach. Just hang for a second. And how far can you go when I tell you to reach down? Now Anita disappeared. God, I hope she comes back.
I do yoga every day, so I'm used to it.
Yes. So I got down there also.
Yeah,
But there's many people who probably got to their thighs or their knees or their shin.
totally.
We're not going to do anything to stretch you out to get you further down or increase your flexibility. What we are going to do is we're going to put you closer to this position right now with two exercises, just as a quickie for you to go, okay, wait a minute. That changed my balance and that changed my range of motion. So
Oh,
imagine when you decide, I wonder what 5 exercises would do daily for a year.
yeah, and how much it will help with the pain, right? And does it also help with the sciatica pain? Because I have lots of friends who have sciatica pain who
Yeah,
work in.
sciatic is our number one symptom from herniated disc. So the sciatic nerve sits in the lower back. It originates there and comes out and innervates the legs. So, and it has there's other nerves, all this like the femoral nerve and all those things. But we're just talking sciatica because it's number one. Don't blame that little nerve.
Yeah.
Is something pressing on the nerve? Is something squeezing the nerve in the hip? Which means your pelvis might be out of alignment, so your spine is compromised, and now the sciatica becomes compromised. Remember, it's a symptom. What's my sciatica trying to tell me? And I know it's hard because nerve pain, when it gets really bad, it sucks. But that's my job to make it not suck.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so here we go. So we're going to get you to stand up, and you guys are going to get your feet. You want to see my socks today?
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, you
Okay.
do fox jump, but there's
Yeah,
no fox.
they're barefoot. Okay, so here we go. I want you to take your feet and put them 5 degrees turned slightly in, fist width apart at the big toes. No, not out here
Yeah.
and not turned out like this. Get it right there where your fist could go in there. Feet's turned in, your feet are turned in like 5 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, now what you're going to do is take your hands, put them in a fist with your thumbs up like this, and then open it up to that position where your fingernails and palms could touch. So put your palms together. Yep, just like that. That's the hand position. Now drop it to your side, and you're going to do this. My feet are straight.
Mhm.
Now that traps my hip flexor, the one we were talking about, the circuit breaker. I want you to take your arms, shoulders down, and pull your shoulders back. I didn't do this. I'm not leaning back. Just glide your shoulder blades together, and that'll get rid of the wrinkles in your shirt up here. Bring your arm out to here like this, and circle forward with your shoulder blades pinned together 40 times. So you want to keep going, and you want to think about circling up and forward. Now this movement is making your upper body be perturbed a little bit like this, so that below that big muscle right there, that long one, is now coming into play to stabilize you. Now do the same thing, but go palms up. Now circle up and back. Good. You want to get 40 of those. And with your feet straight, we are inadvertently training the circuit breaker in your hip and spine with the work and repositioning your shoulders.
Again 40.
40. Then interlace your fingers together like this. Shoulders down. Push your palms away. Take your arms straight up over your head. Don't lean back. Only go as far. If your shoulders hurt, if this is the only place you can go to, I'm okay with that. Just drop the shoulders from your ears. And then you can take it up. And look at your hands. Elbows straight. So straighten your arms. No bend in the elbow. Keep that held. You're going to do 30 seconds.
Yeah, I've been doing that for 1 minute every day in the
Good. Yeah, this is good. Just make sure your shoulders stay away from your ears. So if your elbows are bent, try to lock them out, even if it means move your arms forward to handle it. But the critical point with this is that your feet are dead straight ahead. Okay, relax. Shake it out, walk your feet out, put them where you want it.
Awesome.
Okay, now just let your arms hang, close your eyes. And I want you to think about where your body weight is from left to right. What's changed about your body weight compared to where it was?
I would say now it's on both the heels instead of just one heel.
And
It's
is it still heavy on the left side or is it more even?
it's more even, little bit heavy, but not as much as it used to be before. Because
I'll take it because that's like a 10, 20, 30, 40% change.
yeah,
Now bend over and just tell me, because we know you had great range of motion, but everybody listening to this, even if you could get to the floor, forget about the increase in range of motion. How does it feel to get over there? Go ahead and bend over. What's different about the feeling?
It feels effortless now.
Yes, it should be way more effortless here because you're now, go ahead and sit down. Everybody else can sit down too. Remember, sit down in the chair built by the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
But how does it feel to sit in that chair now compared to where you were?
It feels much better, I would say. And I feel that I'm sitting straighter than I was
Yeah.
doing.
If you go back and look at the beginning of this, you're actually more vertical and taller now.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, guys, if that can happen in 3 minutes
Yeah.
times 365 days a year, you could get some massive benefits just from something simple like that.
Yeah.
But when we can give you your personalized set of exercises that change as your body changes and gets stronger, and then we change your conditioning workouts like in the gym, out of the gym, walking, running, whatever, it's an absolute game changer.
Totally. And these are so simple they can even do it at work, right? If they're feeling the strain in their back or in their arms or something, they can do it there also.
I would love for them to take interrupts
Mhm.
every 2 hours from sitting, and we'll write that up in the exercise sets that we give them.
Oh, that's amazing.
I have surgeons who do this all the time. In between patients, they'll do the exercises in their office for 2 or 3 minutes, come back, get the surgical mask on, go get scrubbed, and they'll do their next surgery.
Yeah. And that's very important because otherwise people get carpal tunnel, people get all sorts of issues like with their neck, with their shoulders, frozen shoulder. That's another common thing, which,
Absolutely. Well, remember, if I'm your patient, I don't want you to be thinking about your neck pain when you're cutting into my knee.
yeah, totally. No, totally, totally agree. And how much fun, and it's also good that you make it so much fun, right? Apart from it's a serious topic which everyone deals with sometime or the other in their life. And so make it easy and no side effects because no medications are involved. It's only the posture change, pretty much.
Listen, I've been doing this for 35 years coming up, and I look at this, and one of my friends said, "Dude, you always talk about the same stuff. Don't you read the latest research and all this stuff?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll read the latest research, but I'm looking for the BS."
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you guys in the physiology world are changing things that in 5 years are going to be changed again.
Yes.
So why not go with the foundational study? If the body doesn't look like this, then all studies are skewed. For example,
Hmm.
if I wore a heart rate monitor around my chest and I got on a Peloton and I'm biking away and they say, stay within this, stay within your zone, stay within your zone. Your zone is wrong
Yes.
because anybody going into a workout, I'll show you a picture and you guys tell me if this person were working out in their zone, okay? That guy's on the bike working out in his zone. See how his shoulders are really rounded and his butt looks like it's gone versus this guy.
Yeah, he's in good posture.
That's the same guy on day one.
Wow. It
Thank
doesn't
God he
work.
had a tattoo.
Ah,
Listen, the reason I say that is if he puts a heart rate monitor on, this is a Kona Ironman 58-year-old athlete who says, yeah, I'm just getting slower. My body's breaking down.
yeah.
I'm not able to keep my heart rate where it should be. And I said, well, your heart rate doesn't know where to be because you're going like this. Okay, heart, put me in my fat burning zone for this. But it's so hard for this body to move and so inefficient that
Totally.
you're actually increasing your heart rate with a decreased amount of work, which is why you never reach your capacity. But if we took the body that looks like this and then did the same amount of work, you'd go, give me more, give me more, give me more. Take that body into the workout, you can do more and you could actually do less and get a better growth. But you can actually work out more on the cardiovascular side because now your whole system is paying you back.
Totally. So, what posture correction would you advise for someone who has a frozen shoulder? Like they did work out in the gym and got a frozen shoulder because I'm assuming they were in a bad posture.
Let's just say what you said was true. You and I just did a workout in the gym. Biceps,
Mhm.
side lateral raises, military press, bench press, everything that's good for our shoulders. But let's say I got frozen shoulder.
Mhm.
Was I working out in a cold gym? So it froze? I'm just kidding. That's not a joke.
I know.
But the next day, my arm is doing this, but this,
Yeah, you can move.
ah. I did the same motion the day before on both arms, but one of them was frozen.
Yeah,
That means that the body was out of alignment when you did the workout, and your body's trying to lock that shoulder down to protect the damaged shoulder.
yeah.
Don't treat the shoulder. Look at the opposite hip. Remember when I had that lady who was, I think, in real estate, and I
Mhm.
saw you and I palpated your hip, and one hip was up here like this. And I said, look, I need somebody who's not in the medical field. So we pulled a real estate person over. And she goes, wow, your hip's really elevated like that. Well, it's not really that the hip is elevated. Your pelvis is tilted differently on both sides, and it should be even when you're standing still. So it appears elevated. Well,
Yeah,
if your pelvis is elevated, the upper body doesn't want to lean over like this. So it goes that way. Then it starts to curve back this way. And then people walk in and go, yeah, my neck hurts.
totally.
Don't treat the neck, look down the chain.
Yes. And
And
that's
then
what's missing, I would say. Nowadays, when you go for the pain, they just look at that particular, they don't look at the whole body, like it's part of the whole body, but they only treat the area because everyone is different. Like the ankle person is different than the person who looks at the body different
it's
than the
true.
person who looks at the hand.
But that's one of the big things that makes sense to you because of the Ayurvedic training. You can thank your mother for that because she's going after the whole system.
Totally, like the root cause. And
That's right.
even the reason why even after all my experience I opened Happiness Factors, because here everything is like divided into so many small parts. No one goes after the root cause, they only go after the symptoms. And that's a major issue with so much, especially in the tech industry or any industry, because people barely have time and they don't seek help, and even when they seek help, then they don't get the right answer, so they
Yeah.
suffer the rest of their lives. So that's the issue. Yeah.
And that's why it's big with symptom treatment is no longer, I'm not interested.
Yes.
I'm just not interested.
Totally, and also the side effects it has, right? Symptom treatment, because most of the time you are prescribed something which, if you see the clinical trials, there is only like 23 or 30% efficacy. So rest of the people did not have any good treatment. I mean, they did not have any good results after the treatment, basically. So
Well, and that's the problem is long-term benefits. They study something and then it's like, look, it worked, let's sell it. Versus going, what happens in a year? I'm
yeah,
very curious about this Ozempic stuff, and I'm not against it. I understand there are people who just can't get themselves to stop eating and get out of a hole. So do whatever to light it up. The question I have is, did you do everything you could during the treatment of that so that your workout was serving you versus, or did you just take it and allow your body to wither away? I think that's why you start seeing people talking about like Ozempic face, Ozempic body, Ozempic muscle.
yeah,
I don't think they were doing enough. And again, I know not just enough to be dangerous, but there's different ways you could do this. What I would say is take this body into that treatment, and now you're giving your body the best chance to let your lymphatic system help you drain byproducts out of your system.
totally. So does the posture also help the lymphatic system? Because I do have some people I know, like they are doing everything right to lose weight or get in shape, but their body always feels like a swollen kind of thing. So, and I feel that it might be more of the lymphatic thing rather than just pure weight.
I'm going to find you a picture of a young lady.
Hmm.
This is 3 months. So August, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, this is August to November.
Hmm.
Came in with chronic pain,
Yeah.
but look at her physique three
Yeah.
months later also.
Wow. She looks like she has done so much weights. Totally toned.
That's what excited her.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're a guy watching this, here's the same time frame, but here's a young man who in the gray shorts, he's in shape, but look at him in the black shorts
Wow.
and look at his stomach wall.
Yeah, and he looks like he's toned down totally. And this is just with the posture correction?
That's correct. He didn't change another thing. So
Wow.
not only is he pain free, but now he looks in the mirror and goes, yes, win, period.
No, totally, and feels totally blessed, right? Like you would say, and with the correct posture. So, posture is so important. But in order for people to practice this posture exercises or even get to the point of, okay, I need to cut out, suppose like soda, everyone knows it's a bad thing, right? But most people, if they feel thirsty, they'll just go for a soda. They won't even go for water because that's how they are conditioned. So, how do we help them change their mindset to even they if they want to something like soda and they know it's bad, like if they know like they want to do the posture training but they just feel, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, right? Or okay, today let me just go to my old habits. So how what advice would you give to someone who wants to change but is not able to have the resilience or the mental muscle to initiate the change?
This is easy. This is so simple. I want everyone listening or watching to think about, if you have kids, or if you don't, and you were a kid, which you were,
Yeah.
put yourself around 15 years old, or think about your teenage kid. How do you get them to do what you want them to do? Truly do what you got to teach them the value of doing something, blah, blah, blah. I get all that.
Hmm.
But let's say they're not listening.
Hmm.
You got to trick them.
Yes.
So now we're talking about tricking ourselves.
Yeah.
Reward yourself. I'm going to do these exercises this entire week and see what happens. Wow, do I feel better? Holy cow. What's my gift to myself? Oh, I'm going to have the Mexican Coca-Cola bottle with the real sugar every day this week because I deserve it.
Hmm.
But it's bad for you.
Yes.
Okay. But if that gets you to put your body in the right place,
Yeah.
you'll eventually go, I don't need the Coca-Cola 5 days. I'll do it 2 days this week.
Totally.
Then eventually you'll do 1 day a week, and then eventually you'll do 2 times a month. I'm a big believer in the 80-20 rule.
Hmm.
80% clean, 20% Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So if you can get to that point,
Yeah.
smoke a cigarette if that's what you want. Is it the best thing for you? No.
Yeah.
But if you're changing the way your lungs work by changing your alignment and you're smoking a cigarette as a gift to yourself, great. In 6 months, you're going to go, I feel so darn good. I don't feel like I need this as much because A, my self-esteem is up.
Yes.
I love myself. It's
Hmm.
okay for me to get selfish and treat myself,
Yes.
self-care. And I'm understanding this cigarette may not work for me anymore. I'm going to find another alternative because, as the great Tony Robbins would say, you're never going to really quit smoking unless you can substitute it with something else that gives you just as much gratification.
Yes.
So for me, I may sit in front of the biocharger.
Oh, nice.
I'm serving myself for the next 12 minutes. So let's say it's late at night, 11 o'clock. I'm like, oh God, I'm starting to crave something. Like,
Mhm.
I want something to eat. Well, close to midnight, it's not the best thing for you to eat because your body wants to heal overnight. I may come in here and sit in front of the biocharger for 10, 15 minutes and it's gone. Not because the biocharger took it away,
Mhm.
but I changed my state and what I was focused on. A lot of times we go to food because we're bored.
Yes, totally.
And these things are taking all of our attention.
Yes.
Go for a walk with my dog just before this. This is what I did.
Hmm.
And I had my phone off, meaning it was on, but I wasn't watching or listening to anything. And I started to see a little bit more in my own neighborhood. You
Nice.
pay attention. And listen, I know we've covered a lot of subjects here.
Yeah. So, but I have a question from you. What got you into the posture correction and posture change? What got you interested? Like 30, you said 30 years ago, right? So 30 years ago, what got you interested into this?
Yeah, look, a lot of people read, books.
Hmm.
I read stuff like this, like for fun. I read Something like this, human locomotion. Okay, seriously, you're going to read this for excitement? Well, there's always something new. Let me look at this thing.
Mhm.
Are you kidding me? Like boring, boring, unless you're in the field.
Yes.
And I look at it and say, how can I serve my people better than doing that stuff? So, I came out of the university with my degrees and all that kind of stuff, but I really didn't learn a thing. And then I ran into the method and said, wait a minute. You can change someone's physical body that quickly, take away their sciatic symptom they've had for 6.5 months and spent $97,000 trying to fix. We can get rid of that in possibly one visit. It was
Wow.
so foreign to me coming from the medical background, I didn't believe it. And about 90 days in, I got it. And I never looked back. I'm only looking through the front windshield.
Oh, that's nice. That's amazing because most people here don't believe it. Like even when Tony says, like when he initially started doing the breakthroughs and interventions, people didn't believe that it can really work.
I
But
was around him when he was doing that.
nice,
I
awesome.
watched people laugh at him. I watched people laugh at us. Oh,
Hmm.
you guys are the people that think you can lay on your back and get bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
Well, I just showed you a picture of an Ironman triathlete. The second picture looked like he was bigger and stronger.
Yes,
And
totally.
that's because I had him on his back where his spine could actually move into a better position to fire the right muscles.
Hmm.
Look, I'm going to show your crowd this position too. There's nobody bigger and stronger than this dude.
Yeah.
And no, it's not me.
No, it's a UFC guy. Which one is that?
Nope, this is another one. This is Mr. Olympia.
Oh, Mr. Olam.
There you go.
Wow, he's all muscle.
All muscle. Best in the world. He won the Olympia like 6 times, 5 times, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I told him, why don't you just buy the shirt? It's a lot easier. Okay. But because you have a guy like that who's about symmetry and stuff,
Yeah.
before his last Olympia, I have him on my Instagram laying down on his back with his legs up at 90 degrees.
Hmm.
So start, give yourself the gift and take care of yourself. I can't say it any easier than that. I mean, it's no more simple than that. Just spend a little time brushing your teeth that you want to keep,
Yeah.
floss the teeth you want to keep. That's another level.
Yes.
Go to the dentist is the third level.
Hmm.
Well, with us, I'm only asking you to brush. Do the
Totally.
first level. Just start doing some simple exercises.
No, and those will be the game changer because then they will avoid or even cure like so many of the pains like sciatica or back pain
But
or
remember, because you say cure the pain, and I'm looking at it going, thank the pain. Because first of all, you wouldn't be taking care of yourself if you didn't hurt. Secondly, you never would have met me,
yes,
been
totally.
introduced to the method. I
Yes.
mean, come on, these are gifts.
No, totally. I totally agree. That's why even for whatever happened in my life, I'm grateful that because of this experience, I came into this field. Otherwise, I'll be in a corporate in some high level executive role and never even know about all this.
Um,
So I'll tell you a story. So the first time when I decided to do like UPW, Tony's, and that time because of course I was still healing and I wanted something else to see if I can heal because my heart was like a stone that time, just coming out of my abusive relationship. And that I had a very good friend. She is a British friend, and as soon as she and her husband heard that I'm going to a Tony Robbins event, they said, "No, don't go. It's a cult." I said, "Have you ever gone there?" They said, "No, but we know it's a cult, so don't go." So I said, "No, I'm going." I mean, because if you haven't tried it, how can I say that it's that way, right? Unless you experience it. So anyway, I went there, I walked on fire, and it was a big game changer for me because that's where I signed up for a master university. And they stopped totally talking to me because they thought I went to a cult. But here I am after years, like not just healed, but helping other people with their different mental wellness solutions, especially the tech industry, because that's where
so
I'm. But
remember what I said at the
yes,
training before.
yeah,
Your friends stop talking. This is a story that you just told us.
yes.
How does it feel that they're not talking to you?
Initially, it felt bad, but now I feel because they did not want to get out of their comfort zone or even see things for what they are, right? So, because over the years, now that I have matured, I've noticed the people who are some of the most critical ones of some things are the people who have never tried it.
Correct. But we could also
Yeah.
say this
Yeah.
to those people:
Hmm.
thank you for the gift, but no thank you.
Yes.
So they said, we're not talking to you. We don't like you. You're in that cult. That's all
Yeah.
negative. And all
Yeah.
you got to do is say this: thank you for that gift. And
Yes.
they're like, we're not meaning to give you a gift. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm labeling it a gift because nobody's ever upset at a gift.
That's so true. No, totally.
Don't take their stuff personally,
Yes.
but when they're ready,
Yeah.
be open to taking them back because you might be able to help. You never know what type of relationship she's in that relationship.
No, totally. Totally. I agree with you. And also, she had lots of health issues. So I think that's another issue.
Yep, it's scary. People, you're either existing on this earth or you're thriving. And
Yes.
that was my last post on Instagram was just spend some time on yourself. Thrive. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, totally. I agree with you. Like people tell me, oh, you survived. You are a survivor. I said, no, I'm a thriver. I don't just survive. I make the best of it.
Yeah, remember we talked about that survival stuff and even your ex that was so blah 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 and that abusive relationship here. And we said there's something about him that I feel sorry for him because
Totally.
it is the little boy that you saw. You were in a relationship with a little boy who was frustrated and he didn't know how to communicate it and it got dangerous.
Yes.
But you got out of it.
Yes. And that's the beauty of it that I was able to not just get out of it, but thrive through it, not
Of
get
course.
physically
Ah,
depressed
here. Listen,
or be in a mental institution.
listen, I have three sisters, and if one of my sisters went through what you went through, I'd probably be in jail.
Thank you for that because now I know you. I mean, you understand the gravity of the situation. But I feel that I was blessed because God, or I mean, I'm a very big believer in God, and I do my puja and prayers every day, and so I believe that they saved me because most people in my situation don't get out alive.
Oh,
That's
listen, different countries. I was just on the phone, somebody who was at that training who was from Australia, and the rules on domestic abuse are a joke.
totally, yeah. Oh, hearing her story that made me grateful for so many things which I was missing in my life, like
Yep.
not having a kid with my ex, right? So with her situation, I mean, so that's what I think. Perspective changes everything, and same with, I would say, mental wellness and posture and everything. If you for people who don't see hope, like you show them hope, and not just you show them hope, you help them thrive through it and find a new way, and they can talk about it with others that this is how we did it, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I what message would you like to give to the listeners?
Well, other than the last hour, what we talked about message wise, but there is one message I want them to understand is like I'm not joking when I look up and see this blessed, or when I look and see my sweatshirt in the mirror and go win, period. Like there's no other choice. We're going to win. Now, that even means, well, you can't win all the time, Brian.
Yeah.
Even in a loss, I'm focused on the long-term win.
Yes.
I could lose the first three games of the year in the NFL and still win the Super Bowl.
Totally.
So we're going to win the Super Bowl of life. One of the ways you do this is to change the physical body by
Hmm.
allowing it to serve you. That's number one. For all of you listening, I told Anita this before. We have the ability to look at you. If you're very curious, don't just dip your toe in. If you're going, I'm very curious about this because I'm interested to do this, 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 this. Those are the people that I want to hear from. And this isn't for everybody. So don't waste my time.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the people who are going, yeah, I want to know about the next stuff. That's why I answer my own messages on Instagram. You can tell me that you came from this podcast. I'll make sure that you have a link that says this/podcast so that you're in there. As you know, we'll get you some of the exercises that we went over earlier. We'll just give them to you. But if you're interested in doing more, then ask us to take a look at you. I came from this podcast. I need 15 minutes of your life. That's it.
Awesome. And how would people reach out to you?
So there's number one,
Mhm.
and I'll make sure that you guys have this because what do you call it? The in the show notes and stuff like that, you guys will have it. But here's There's my Instagram. It's under, and I know that's a little blurry, but right there at the top, it's let's see, the Brian Bradley, TheBrianBradley. You can click on any of these things, like, some of these links down below, stuff like that. We'll make sure it's written in here. You can also go to, we're going to have to write this one down because it's under my old brand, and it'll say /podcast, and then they can click that and they can go in and get the exercises. And anytime they need to opt out, they'll be able to, all that kind of stuff. But at least take us up on that and try something. That's a gift from us to you guys to be able to try it out.
Totally. And what I'm going to do is I'll put it in the description for the podcast. That way, people have the link to click on to reach out if they are interested. And I'm very sure that many of the people who have the pain definitely give it a try. That's my call to action for them, because you won't regret it. And you will find so much, not just relief, but you will also find that you can do things which you thought initially were not possible because of your pain or because of your situation. So definitely take Brian up on this generous offer he's offering us, and I would put the link to how to contact him, whether it's on Instagram, which is easy, the Brian Bradley, or through the link in the description. Do reach out to him. And what other topics you would like me to cover, whether it's the posture RX superstar Brian Bradley, or some other mental wellness solutions you would like to see, do reach out to us and let us know. Until then, till the next time, keep smiling, and don't forget to subscribe to us on Apple Podcast, our YouTube channel, as well as on Spotify. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.